Today I'm going to make a low-fat cinnamon peach banana bread. I'm making it for my husband. It's his birthday tomorrow, so I'm making this for him for tomorrow. But we'll probably get into it tonight. Anyway, I found this recipe for low-fat cinnamon peach banana bread on Pinterest on a website called Canela Vita. And I think that means cinnamon life. That's what it is, Canela Vita. And here's the recipe. So we'll go through it, and I hope that helps. All right, so the first thing, I have my oven on and heating up to 350. And I'm going to take a loaf pan and just take some butter and grease the inside, or you can use whatever you like to grease it, either the spray it, or use another kind of butter, And even if it's a non-stick pan, it's always better to use something to grease it up. It comes out a lot easier. Okay, so after this, I'm going to put together the dry ingredients. The dry ingredients are 1 3/4 cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and plus a little bit extra in your shaker or wherever you have it for dusting on the top before we put it in. Okay, so I have my pan ready. Okay, so in a medium-sized bowl, you take the flour, 1 3/4 cups. So that's a half. That's 1 1½ and 1/4. Okay, 1 3/4 cups of the flour, and 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. 1½ 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, and I'm just going to mix this up a little bit with the whisk, just to combine all the dry ingredients. And then I'm going to set this aside, take my larger bowl. And the first thing for the wet ingredients is 3 bananas, mashed bananas, a cup of finely chopped diced peaches, and we need 1/2 cup of packed dark brown sugar, plus 2 tablespoons later for putting on the topping, 2 tablespoons of browned or melted butter, and we'll do that in a little bit, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/2 cup of non-fat plain or vanilla Greek yogurt, and I'm going to be using the vanilla just to give a little more flavor. Okay, so the first thing is the 3 bananas. So when we have bananas that start turning brown, I always throw them right into the freezer. And then when I want to make some banana bread, or it's nice when they're frozen for a smoothie or something, for a protein shake, throw that in there. Okay, so 3 bananas. Anyway, so when they defrost and thaw out, they're really juicy. And my oven is ready, so I'm just going to mash these up. Okay, the bananas, and then the butter. Okay, so the butter, 2 tablespoons of butter, browned. So browned or melted. So I'm going to start melting that. And browned is just melted until it starts to turn a little bit brown. Don't let it burn. So I'm going to put it under medium heat. Okay. Half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of brown sugar. I measured this earlier. Half a cup. This was a quarter cup. This was a quarter cup. Half a cup packed brown sugar. And I'll just mix this up a little bit until my butter is browned. This is melting. I think browned butter just adds a little more nuttier flavor, is what they say, but you know, if you don't want it to taste like it's almost burning, just be careful when it starts to, after it's melted, when it starts just to turn a little bit brown, if you want to try it. So it's all melted. I'm just turning it up to see if it'll start turning a little brown real quickly. It's bubbling. Oh, I can smell it burning. It's wanting to burn. It's still yellow. It's not brown, but I think I'm just going to use it just like that. So just let it cool off a little bit. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of the melted butter. Mix that all up. Okay, and then the diced peaches. So I'm going to let that sit over here for a little while and dice up some peaches. And these are so good. I got some giant peaches at the market. Yum, yum. And they've been sitting on my table for the past 3 days, getting nice and ripe. And now they smell. Tastes so... so sweet. Oh man. Okay, so we need a cup of finely, this says finely diced peaches, so finely diced peaches. I don't know how finely I'm going to dice them, because I like to have to be able to bite into them. So this is the first time I'm doing this recipe, by the way. So if it's the first time you're doing it, then we're in the same happy boat. Okay. So that's about half a cup. These are big peaches, so if you have smaller peaches, so I'm only going to need one peach, maybe a little more. So that's a half a cup. tastes really good in the banana bread. Oh, I can't wait. And I left the skins on. It didn't say to take them off, but it's kind of time consuming to peel them, to skin them. You could peel them with a peeler, I guess, but take a lot of the flesh off of it, and to get just the skin peeled off, you would have to get a big pot of boiling water. And maybe I'll do that someday when I make a peach pie. But you would take your peach, a fairly ripe peach, so the skin comes off easier. See, it's already coming off. This is how ripe this is. It's already coming off with my fingers peeling off. But to make a peach pie, probably good to usually want to get the peel off of it. So anyway, so you take a big pot of water, boil it, and then have on the side ready and waiting a bowl of ice water, big bowl like this big of ice water, ready for your peaches. And you take your peach, just about pretty good ripened, nice smell to it. You can always smell the peaches. Same thing with nectarines. You just throw them in the boiling water for about a minute, and then you scoop it out and put it in the ice water, and about another minute later it should just put a little cut, and it should just peel right off. If they're well ripened, and they should come off very well. If they're not ripened as well, then you may have to throw it back in the boiling water for a little bit longer. But then it tends to make the flesh of the peach a little mushy. So at that point, I just take my little paring knife and just start peeling it off. If I don't get a good one to peel, then it comes right off. Okay, so that was 1 cup of finely diced peaches, and that was just 1 peach that I used. So if you have smaller peaches, I would say use 2 or 1.5 peaches. And then we're going to use another one for later. 8 to 10 thin peach slices we're going to put on the top. So we'll see that later. Okay, so I got my peaches in here, and see, this recipe didn't go in order. This says add the vanilla and egg whites. Egg whites, and the recipe says 2 eggs. But it's really just the egg whites. Okay, so vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Add vanilla and egg whites and whisk again. Okay, egg whites. Okay, for the egg whites, just crack your egg, separate them, and if you want to save your egg yolk for something like flan, I have done that. Okay, so 2 egg whites, and when you separate eggs, it's always good to have them at room temperature. They separate much easier like that. Okay, so vanilla and egg whites, whisk again. And then the peaches, whisk in the peaches, add in the dry ingredients and yogurt. Okay, so the yogurt is 1/2 cup of either non-fat plain or vanilla Greek yogurt. Non-fat plain. So I'm using non-fat vanilla. And I have this one here, 1/2 cup. Okay, the dry ingredients are here, so I'm going to put a little bit, and I'm going to fold them in. Add in the dry ingredients, folding them. So a little bit of dry. So fold it in and just loop it around. You don't want to stir it up too much. So just fold it in gently. And then a little bit of yogurt, so half a cup of non-fat. Wait a minute, half a cup, 6 ounces. Oh, half a cup. Mix up that whole thing, 6 ounces. Half a cup is 4. Oh. Okay, so that's the yogurt, and then I'm going to put in the rest of the dry. Just fold it all together. I wonder, can you see this? Yeah, there. And fold it. You just fold it over and over until all the dry is combined with the wet, and you don't, it's not dry anymore. Okay, so this is ready. Pour it into the loaf pan. Okay, into the loaf pan. And now I'm going to slice the peach. Top with the thinly sliced peaches, and this says about 8 to 10 thinly sliced peaches. So So just, what did it say? Put this on here. So I don't think you can see this. I'm just laying them like right on the top, like this. One over the other. Just like that. That's what it looks like in the picture anyway. So then as the cake, as the banana bread bakes and rises up, oh man, boy does this look good. Ooh, a few slices left for me. Okay. Then sprinkle 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay, I measured this before. Over the top, and then dust it with the cinnamon. So, here we go. So a little bit of brown sugar over the top. Yum, yum, yum. That's 1 tablespoon. And that's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And dust with a little bit of cinnamon. Okay, I think that's ready. Bake for 60 to 70 minutes or until a toothpick comes out dry. And that's it. And so now it's 2 o'clock. So at 3 o'clock and 3:10, when my husband comes home, he's going to smell this and probably want a piece before dinner. Okay, see you later.